Hey everybody, I'd like to do a little bit of a rundown of what we worked on last week in class, the week 4 rundown. As far as playing wise, we worked on another bar chord shape. 2 weeks ago we worked on the F bar chord and a couple of different ways to play it, and there's one other fairly commonly used bar shape, and it's basically, I'm going to show it how to play a C chord in a bar. And this is a little bit different because the finger that actually bars is higher up. Normally on a bar chord, like on the F chord, you would be using your pointer finger as essentially a capo, and that's where your chord is coming from. On this one, you're going to still use your pointer finger, and you're going to put your pointer finger on the A string on the 3rd fret. Now the bar comes in a little bit differently here because on this one you're going to actually take your pinky and bar across those higher strings on the 5th fret. So starting on the D string, 5th fret, then the G string, 5th fret, and then also your B string on the 5th fret. So you wind up barring those, and then you bring in your pointer finger on the bottom. I'm moving these fingers out of the way so you can see it a little bit better. So your normal C chord is going to look and sound something like this. A bar chord C would be more like this. So again, on that bar chord C, you're just taking your pointer finger, locking it down on the 3rd fret on the A string, and you're taking your pinky and barring across on the 5th fret, the D string, the G string, and the B string, and you're not really playing that high E string, and you're also not really playing the low E string. So that is one way to play a C bar chord. A couple of the other things that we worked on, or really more stuff that we talked about, were strings and when you need to change them. So when you're looking at your guitar, I would say your normal strings, when they start to go out of tune a lot, if you start to notice that, that's a sure sign that it might be a time to get a new set of strings. If you're actually looking at the strings and you can see black spots on the strings themselves, or where the frets are, you see wear on the strings. If that's visible when you're looking at your guitar and picking it up, or you can actually feel that on the strings, it's definitely time to change. One of the questions I get asked a lot is, what type of strings do you use and what should I use? And for me, on acoustic guitar, I really like coated strings, and they basically take a regular steel string and they take some sort of chemical composition and they coat the string, and it makes it last longer, and in my opinion it makes the strings feel a lot better too. Many companies make coated strings. I really like Elixirs. You can get those at pretty much any guitar store around. I know D'Addario makes a really nice line of coated strings as well. I've just been really partial to the Elixirs ever since they came out. We talked a little bit about the gauge of strings and how that can be a little bit important too. Medium gauge strings are always very popular for acoustic guitar, and typically a medium is like a 12 gauge. 12 refers to the thickness of the top E string. That's kind of right in the middle. Personally, I actually go a little lighter than that. I go with 11s, and that makes the strings, it makes the tension a little bit less, and it makes the guitar a little bit easier to play, and I don't think you lose any of the sound of the larger string with going to an 11. So Elixir makes a string gauge called a custom light, and the top gauge is an 11. So that might be helpful if maybe you're having a tough time sometimes pushing down the notes or moving quickly from chord to chord. Trying some lighter strings is something that might be able to help too. So that was pretty much what we worked on last week, and look forward to seeing everybody tonight. Thanks a lot.